Oh my God, Becky. Look at her portfolio. It is so big. She looks like one of Elon's girlfriends, okay? But you know, who understands Elon anyways? He only talks to her because she looks like a total Bitcoin. Okay, I mean, her portfolio, it's just so big. I can't believe it. It's just so round. It's like out there. I mean, gross. Look, she's just so Bitcoin, and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. Holy McMoly, it is a beautiful day to be alive. Freaking A, every day is a good day to be alive. Just want to quickly go over something before I dive into the charts. I have a buddy named Carlin. He just lent a friend of his from Ukraine $5,000, which for him is a lot of money, to help her get her family out of Ukraine, which, I don't know, something about that story just kind of touched my heart. It reminds me that there's bigger things going on in the world than crypto and trading. You know, sometimes I get wrapped up in my little confined area by my computer. So just keep that in mind. If you have a friend named Carlin, even if it's not the Carlin, give him a hug. Super cool dude. Now let's go dive into the charts. So to start out, we're on this here. I don't know why I'm saying that, but we're on this here Bitcoin chart, the one that I bring up every day. Just want to re-point out, re-emphasize kind of where we stand with Bitcoin. On a bigger, macro level, we put in the high back here, the low, the higher high here, and then what looks to be a confirmed higher low. And if you even zoom in a little bit closer to more recent price action, we had this high back in mid-January, followed by the low late January, right? It broke out of the wedge. This high was higher than this high. And then recently with the Ukraine-Russia situation, we had another dip, but we were able to put in a higher low at the top of this green zone of support. What we're currently looking for at the moment, as we're at this heavy red zone of resistance, is we need to break through this and put in a higher high than this one. So we need to get, I would say we need to hit close to 47K. If we can't, there is potential we see more downside. A little pullback wouldn't be the end of the world right now. If we could maybe bounce back here and reconfirm somewhere between 41 and maybe 41.5 as support, and then maybe on our next attempt break this red zone. So all eyes on Bitcoin. Next chart I want to jump into just briefly is the Bitcoin dominance chart. As I've mentioned in previous days and episodes, anytime the Bitcoin dominance is going up, that's typically bad for altcoins, and when it's going down, that's good. If Bitcoin's moving up with its dominance, it can drag the altcoins higher. So I'm sure you've noticed altcoins have been performing okay with this Bitcoin move, but they perform a lot better if this could find some sort of resistance here soon and maybe have a little bit of a pullback. So basically what I'm looking for is maybe we can get some sort of a double top here soon, or even up here at this resistance level I have noted. And then if we can just get a retrace at some point where it comes back down and either retests this, this little move would give us some good altcoin trading, or even better would be if it came all the way back down to this red zone, which I need to switch to green as support now, and we're to push higher from that point. So what we're looking for is some sort of a Bitcoin dominance retrace, at which point we'll get some really good moves out of the altcoins. This chart is the total 3, which is just the total market cap excluding both Bitcoin and Ethereum. A lot of people use the total 2 chart, which just excludes Bitcoin. This chart excludes Bitcoin and Ethereum, so the 2 largest cap coins. And I just want to point out that it's been in this downtrend ever since late December, the end of last year. But there is potentially some positive movement happening, and we had one touch here, a couple touches here, so 2 and 3, 4, and it looks like it's breaking out, or it has broken out, and it's trying to retest the top of this trend line as support. So if we can get a push up out of this over the coming days, you'll see, in conjunction or confluence with Bitcoin dominance, if it retraces and this pushes up, you're going to see some pretty good movement out of the altcoins. Now I just want to briefly dive into a couple of the coins I mentioned yesterday. This is PCX, has an airdrop coming in a week. Looks like from the time that, now a lot of coins are up, so this is nothing groundbreaking, but looks like from the support bounce that I indicated, we're up around 15 to 20%, so it's a pretty good movement so far. If I go back over to this chart, this is what I'm looking for now. I want to see this break above this zone of resistance right here, at about $1.50. So if we could push up above that, maybe somewhere to like $1.60-ish, and then come back and flip that $1.50 zone as support, that will be good for PCX. This one is KLV. I've kind of altered it a bit from yesterday. I was on a daily chart. I've zoomed into a 6-hour chart to make it a little cleaner so you can kind of see this falling wedge it's in and has been in since mid-November. I also took away some of the news, so we only focus on the news that's coming up. We've got some test nets coming up. Its main net is actually at the end of this month, and then some other swap to mainnet as well, whatever. I don't know what that exactly means. But anyway, so it has some news coming up at the end of the month. I'm looking for it to break out of this wedge. It also needs to break, this is the 6-hour chart, but it needs to break this 200. And if it could break this zone here at about 0.025-ish, if it could break that and flip that into support, I've indicated here we've got about 14 to 15% move we could see. This is what's called a low volume node. There's not a lot of volume there to stop this from pushing through there rather quickly. So if it could break that area, we should see probably a 14 to 15% move rather quickly out of KLV. So we'll keep an eye on that and keep you updated. GLCH, or Glitch Protocol, still hasn't really popped off yet. It's one I'm still kind of got alerts set for and I'm waiting on. Structurally, it still looks awesome. It's kind of inside this falling wedge. Could also be made the argument that it's an inverse head and shoulders. What we're really looking for is for it to push and break up here about 55 cents. We need it to break out of this wedge and then flip it to support before we can really expect a big move out of it. It has a ton of upside, also has mainnet coming in 2 weeks. So we'll keep an eye on it, but for right now, it's kind of just ranging. Nothing too exciting on a glitch. I did want to add one new coin that I'm watching, or it's on my radar, and that is Render Token. RNDR is the ticker. It's been in this giant falling wedge since mid-November. As you can see here indicated on my chart. What I'm watching for is it did peek its head above the top of the trend line, but it's done that obviously back here and here and here. So I mean, it's had a fake out, several times in the past. But what I'm really looking for is for it to break out, and then this 200 moving average, which it retested back here but wasn't able to hold. Here it wasn't able to hold. It hasn't been able to hold it yet. But what I'm looking for is if it can break out of this trend line and then maybe reconfirm this zone of support at around 280 in confluence with the 200 moving average, that could be a good entry. You'll have to time it with Bitcoin and keep an eye on Bitcoin, but then we might be able to get a pretty good percentage move out of it. It's also got this potential Adam and Eve pattern, which can be a round, basically it's like a triangle next to a rounded bottom, and it could be, either way. It could be the triangle first or the rounded bottom. So you've got this kind of jagged triangle where price dropped quickly and then recovered, and then now you've kind of got this rounded bottom forming. So another good entry if you wanted to just wait and set an alert, you could wait for it to break 370, maybe push up to like 380, and then flip this zone of resistance to support, and then ride that move higher as well. Well, I hope you guys are as excited about March as I am. Thank you for joining TA with MK. My name is MK. If you're liking the content, remember to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you tomorrow. It's TA.